So you know what Chevron CEO did before he moved the company out of California? He texted Gavin Newsom. After 145 years in the state, he wanted to give the governor a heads up. Listen to what happened.
It was in the Wall Street Journal when Mike Wirth, the CEO of Chevron, was getting ready to move Chevron out of California, texted him and said, "We're about to make this announcement. I'd like to tell you before you read about it." Gavin Newsom replied essentially, quote, "I don't need to talk about it. I'm good."
Did you hear that? I'm good. 145 years, $300 billion company, tens of thousands of jobs, and the governor says, I'm good. Now, gas is at $7 in parts of LA, $6.79 right here, and it's about to hit about $10. So I started digging into what the hell is going on. And what I found out made me sick. 3 refineries are gone. Let me show you what just happened.
Refineries in California are winding down their operations. Phillips 66 in Los Angeles County is set to shut down completely in a few weeks, and Valero in the Bay Area will stop operations in April.
20%. That's not a small adjustment. That's a massacre. And it gets worse. Valero was offered $200 million to stay. Listen to what they said.
Valero in Northern California flat out said, we're out of the state. And they were very upfront about it. They said, we're tired of operating this hostile environment. We're tired of operating under these punitive rules. And by the way, our operating costs across California refineries are on average 35 to 38% higher than anywhere else in the country.
Did you catch that? Hostile environment, punitive rules. A billion-dollar company would rather lose $1 billion than deal with Sacramento for one more year. Let that sink in. Now, here's where it gets dark. There's a professor at USC, Michael Mischke, 50 years studying oil and gas. He spent 14 months researching California gas prices using the state's own data. His conclusion, we're heading to $8, $9, maybe even $10 a gallon. We're already at $7 right now. You know what Newsom said? Listen.
What I heard from the governor was a lot of vitriol and an attempt to discredit me and my work. I reached out to him on several occasions and I said, I'll be happy to come to Sacramento. I'll be happy to sit down with you. I'll be happy to go over this. Not a word. Instead, it was vitriol and attempt to disparage my reputation.
Did you hear that? The governor didn't debate him. He didn't challenge the data. He tried to destroy this man's career. And here's what really gets me.
I suspect that if the report did support the governor's narrative, I would probably be sainted in Sacramento instead of demonized in Sacramento.
Sainted or demonized, that's how California works now. Tell the truth about gas prices, they're going to come for you. This professor used California's own data. They try to bury him. That should terrify you. Now let me show you exactly how they're robbing you at the pump. Listen to this.
What the people need to understand is of that $5.19, $1.44 is in California taxes and regulatory fees.
So how much is the owner of this gas station then earning?
At today's prevailing price, somewhere between 8 and 12 cents a gallon, while the state makes 60 cents a gallon on the same gallon of gas sold.
Did you catch that math? $1.44 to Sacramento, 8 cents to the guy running the station. And where does your $1.44 go? Well, 25% goes straight to the high-speed rail. The train that goes to nowhere. $128 billion for a train from Bakersfield to Merced. Be honest, have you ever needed to get from Bakersfield to Merced? Your gas money funds a train you'll never ride to places you'll never go. But here's the part that should terrify you. California requires a special blend of gas. Sounds nice, cleaner air, whatever. Here's the problem. Nobody else makes it. So when refineries leave, we can't just get gas from Texas. Listen to what happens next.
We're 63% reliant on foreign oil. We only produce about 21% of our own oil in state. We bring some in from Alaska. That's about 13%. We got a few other little sources, but about 61 to 63% of our oil that we use to create California gasoline and aviation fuel and diesel fuel here comes from nations, petrol states such as Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Ecuador, Brazil, and now Guyana.
Iraq? Saudi Arabia? Ghana? The state that says it's going to save the planet is shipping gas halfway around the world. And listen to how long it takes.
And did I mention it takes 4 weeks for those ships to arrive? Imagine if there's a storm or a war or a refinery fire in India. California's fuel supply dries up instantly.
4 weeks. One storm, one war, California goes dry. That's not energy policy. That's a trap. And you're stuck in it. Now, here's what broke me. A California Democrat, State Senator Jerry McNerney, said the quiet part out loud. He said, if we don't keep gas prices affordable, we'll lose public support. And in doing so, we will lose the fight against climate change. Read that again. If you need to rewind, rewind. He didn't say families are hurting. He didn't say people can't afford to drive to work. He said they will lose. They will lose power. That's the game. And you're just a lab rat paying $10 a gallon to fund their experiment. And it's not just gas. This is death by 1,000 cuts. Listen to what real people are going through.
As somebody who works 3 different jobs just to make ends meet and then having to pay, almost $100 to fill up her gas tank, it's demoralizing. It's awful.
I have to start budgeting myself just for gas, and that's to get to work to make more money. So just all in all makes everything a lot more difficult for me and my entire family, honestly.
$800 a month, 3 jobs just to afford gas to get to work. Electricity up 40%, water up 62%, groceries the highest in the nation. Every month is something new, another fee, another tax, another way to drain you. You can't save, you can't get ahead, you're bleeding. And now, just in time for Easter, when you want to drive to see grandma, take the kids somewhere nice, $10 gas. You can't afford to visit your own family anymore. And here's what really makes my blood boil. They'll shut down refineries for the environment. They'll kill thousands of jobs, make gas unaffordable. But when the Palisades burned, they watched. Can't break an ice plant or save a fish that nobody's heard of, but Malibu can burn. Save the Delta smelt, screw the families. That's California's logic. Look, Chevron's gone. After 145 years, Valero's out in April. Phillips 66 already closed. 20% of our gas is gone. A USC professor says $10 gas is coming. Newsom tries to bury him. And here's what the professor says is coming next.
But if we lose that pipeline, and there's a high probability that we will, along with another refinery, then prices are just going to skyrocket.
The Crimson Pipeline could collapse by March 2026. When that happens, we're not talking $8 gas anymore. We're talking gas lines, shortages, stations going dark. And the governor's response to all of this, I'm good. He's good. You're paying $10 a gallon. Share this video, subscribe, hit that bell. They don't want you to know any of this. I'm Ramin, and this is Real Talk.